Good morning. Good morning. Oh my gosh. I hope everybody had a good night last night with lots of football. I made a couple notes here what I wanted to go through and what I just wanted to talk about and really just try to get a grasp on everything. Um, with the breaking news last night coming in during the game, it was the Falcons head coach getting fired, Raheem Morris. What a way to kick everything off. Well, what a way. We'll go ahead and talk about it and what that kind of means for the league. Raheem Morris being fired. My name is Adam Antu. This is the Lone Star Sports Talk. To start off, we have Raheem getting fired from the Falcons head coach. Um, I the thing about Raheem Morris is that he's been an defensive minded head coach. We've known that. We've seen his past and his track record of he's a real defensive kind of a guy. Um, Falcons bringing him in was kind of a hope that hey, you're going to be able to shore up the defense, and the offense will take care of itself. With with that being said, it didn't make too much sense that they would hire a defensive minded head coach with Michael Penix Jr. coming in his second year. He really needed a guy that was more offensive minded, more quarterback friendly to get him developed to get him to that next step. I think that if they start Kirk Cousins from week one all the way to the end, I think that Kirk Cousins takes them to the playoffs. This offense is too juggernaut not to be in the playoffs. You have Kyle Pitts, Jake London, and Bijan Robinson. Those three alone, you need an average quarterback, and they'll get you there. Their defense wasn't bad; they were average. Um, so they just needed an offensive mind to go in there, help that young QB, and get him to that next level. And Kirk Cousins would have been perfect to start for this team. Granted, do I think you go far in the playoffs? Maybe not, but you would have gotten to the playoffs. Maybe that's what they wanted, not to make the playoffs and get another good draft pick, and have a reason to get rid of Raheem. You know, yeah, the GM for the Falcons is making just when he drafted, Michael Penix, you will and you're paying your quarterback $180 million. You are you're throwing a lot of money down the cap and away. You're essentially throwing it away because that money could be used for other things and it could be used for defense. It could be used for offensive line, which you desperately need. Um, and going through the list, I don't see a lot of offensive minded head coaches that are going to be available. The perfect one I could have thought about was the Saints head coach, Mr. Kellen Moore. He used to be the offensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. He would have been nice to kind of go in there with some creativity, and to go and really get that offense going. It's been a disaster for Kyle Pitts. It seems like I feel like this might have been his breakout year, but he was supposed to be a unicorn coming out. He was supposed to be the guy. Kind of a late start for him, but he's starting to pick it up at the end now that he's getting more experience, and hopefully they can get a right coach to go in. There is a head coach out there that I'm not saying is going to be your savior or somebody who's going to take you to the Super Bowl, but I think he can get your team experience and kind of show you where everything's gonna be. And that's Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy's been sitting out for another year. No one's picked him up. I don't know if he wants to come back and coach, but if he does, he would be a perfect quarterback coach to mentor Michael Penix Jr. A good offensive mind to get that offense to the next level where they need to be. I think it's a perfect fit for now. And again, it's not going to be Mike's going to take you to the Super Bowl by any means. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying it's going to help you learn. If you can find somebody who can take you to the Super Bowl, yes, I mean hire him. But I don't see anybody coming out and ready to go. Um, you still have the Giants who are looking for a head coach too, who's going to be in running for all this, and they have a nice squad. So with another firing this morning of Steve Stefanski, I think he might have the best case to go to New York. Um, I think they're gonna want him, and I think they have a more I should say more efficient and young team than the Falcons. The Falcons are just they're so undisciplined. They're so poorly coached. They don't have it yet, and that can be unattractive to a head coach, in my opinion, to go in there and say, hey, this is how it's gonna this is my way. This is how it's gonna be, into a team who doesn't know that very well. It can affect you negatively. So whoever decides to take on that coaching role needs to be an offensive minded coach. Definitely work well at the quarterback. Um, has to go in there and not change everything, but do it delicately but efficiently. Um, I mean, I say delicately, and I don't mean like let the players walk all over you. I mean, hey, these players have never been led by an offensive minded coach, and they need to know the structure of it, but also breaking them out of their bad habits at the same time. And Raheem Morris is going to be fine. I think he's going to get a defensive coordinator job instantly. A team that pops out to me, Cowboys should definitely look into Raheem Morris. He's a damn good defensive coordinator, and I would love to have him. I would love to have them, especially with all the draft picks coming up that we're gonna have this year. Um, our free agency that we're gonna have, I think it's gonna be a perfect fit, especially with Schottenheimer at the helm for a second year in a row. Dak's coming back, and he's not injured for the first time. He's not injured. He's gonna be healthy. We're gonna have a healthy Overshone. We're gonna have a healthy defensive line. I think it's looking positive. We're gonna have a nice draft pick. If we can get somebody like Raheem Morris, says somebody who's experienced, somebody who knows ball, somebody who knows defense, somebody who's ready to go off the snap and ready to adapt at the same time, I think Raheem Morris is the perfect fit. So looking at the Cowboys in the draft and their draft position, it was confirmed yesterday that the Cowboys will land the number 12 spot. So I was going through the draft. I was going through the draft class, um, going through the top players of this draft, and what everybody needs. And I would love more than the Cowboys to get Ruben. If they can get Ruben Bain from Miami, the 6'3" true edge, 270. Oh yeah, he's a stud. He doesn't. His sacks don't jump off the stat sheet, but they're good. 8.5 sacks. Probably gonna get 9 by the end of this next playoff against. I think they play against Indiana. I think it's Indiana or Ole Miss. It could be one of the two. Either way, he's gonna get another sack, so he's gonna add to that pass seat. But just the regular season, he had 8.5. The reason why I say it doesn't jump off because that's really good. Don't get me wrong, but he had 3 sacks against Texas A&M. Before that, he was averaging about half a sack a game. Um, so before that A&M game, he's looking at 5.5 sacks. But he's a true edge. He's a true edge that's going to help you stop the run. He's going to set the edge, and he's going to have that nice addition to pass rush. Big kid, not small. Um, He's super athletic, decent speed, not an elite speed. But we need a true edge, and I think we can get Mr. Ruben. Then I think that'd be a great fit if he falls to 12. Looking at everybody's draft order, we have the Las Vegas Raiders. They're going to draft the quarterback, Fernando Mendoza. Yeah, the New York Jets, who's going to get the Oregon kid, Dante Moore. They need a quarterback. The Cardinals need an offensive line. If the Cardinals get anybody but an offensive lineman, they You got to protect Kyler. Kyler's your guy. Kyler's your franchise guy. He keeps getting hurt because you don't have an offensive line. We need to see him fully healthy. I feel bad for the Cardinals. They've set up their team to look really nice. They just have yet to put it all together. They're in a super tough division, but I think they're a couple pieces away on the offensive line for being a really good team. And then I think they're gonna rock and roll, but they need to get an offensive line. The Tennessee, they need to go get a receiver. I think that um, their rookie quarterback is going to come back, and he needs somebody to throw to. That was definitely lacking this season. Um, the Giants need a more of an interior defensive line, so I don't see them drafting the edge rusher, who again is top three overall. So far he's slipping, slipping, slipping. Then we get to pick number 6, who the Browns. The Browns, if the Browns draft how they usually draft, they're going to pick a quarterback. And the Browns are going to pick another quarterback. But they need to draft offensive line. They need to continue to build that offensive line. Give these rookies a shot that they had. You have Gabriel and Sanders. You have two quarterbacks to learn. And you still have Deshaun Watson. That's a whole mess in itself. But you really get these two young quarterbacks in there. I know they kind of competed this year for a job, and it ended with Sanders, but according to some sources, it was due to a Gabriel injury. So you got to give Sanders or Gabriel a real shot. See who's going to actually compete. See who's going to be your best option. Um, but the Browns, man, the rotation of quarterbacks to quarterbacks is getting so old, and it's obviously not working for you. So get Sanders in there, get him a good old offensive line, share it up. I don't see that. Okay, so the Browns have number 6, Washington has number 7, and I think it's Miami at 8, and I'm not sure 9. I don't have 9 written down. But the two teams I highlighted was pick 7 and pick 10. Pick 7 is Washington. Pick 10 is Kansas City. Washington needs an edge rusher, and so does Kansas City. Though that's the biggest needs. And they're ahead of the Cowboys sitting at 12. So I think the Mr. Rubin is going to fall to 12. If he falls to 12, the Cowboys will take it. But he's not going to fall. He's not going to get past Washington. And if he does get past Washington, Kansas City's going to pick him up. So we're gonna have to find a way to jump him. And we to get the number 6 spot, we need to call the Browns. Say Browns. You need an offensive line. The next offensive lineman isn't probably. I think he's predicted to go at pick 15. Hey, swap picks with us at 12. We'll give you a second round of 2027 because we don't have a second round this year. We also don't have a third round this year. We use that for the second round of 26 was also used in a Quinn Williams trade, and a third round draft pick was used to get George Pickens. Um, so we don't have our second and third for the Dallas Cowboys. So you need to give them a second in the 2027. Give them Odigizua and then swap. And we're giving him a haul. We're giving him a haul. We're giving him a haul with Odigizua, an extra draft pick, and a swap. And we're banking on this kid Ruben Bain to just be excellent. And I think he's going to be excellent. I think he's going to be an impact player right away. I think we're going to be lucky to have him if we're able to get him. I think we go get him. I think Odigizua is a great player to be on a trade block because he's an amazing player. He's a good player. He's not a great player. He's good enough to make some impact on the stat sheet, but he's not going to jump off your screen. Um, so I think he's a good piece for a team to get in there to start to put him next to Miles Garrett on the Browns defensive line, that would be a great fit. That would be a great fit for Digazua to get back in there and really be next to Miles Garrett, who now holds the record for sack leader. It's it makes sense to me, and it makes sense if we can get Ruben Bain. You know, we have another first round draft pick. It's not getting no Max Crosby. Don't get me wrong, but we're gonna have another draft pick to be able to pick somebody else, which I think the Packers are probably going to be a first round exit. They're going into the playoffs limping. I think if we had an extra season, an extra game or two, they don't make it into playoffs. I think they're struggling right now. You're lucky that your offense is good enough to carry you to the playoffs. But they're gonna be a first round exit. I think they're gonna play. Green Bay plays the Bears. Um, and it is a rivalry game, so anything can happen on a rivalry game. But the Bears are just so much better. They're a better team. Um, I think so. I think the Packers are gonna have a first round exit very quickly. I think they're gonna have probably like the 22nd pick. Um, and the Dallas Cowboys do have that pick. With the 22nd pick of the 2026 draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Texas Tech linebacker Jacob Rodriguez. Jacob Rodriguez. He's a kid that's gonna fall. A lot of teams have him on second day or late first. If he falls to us and he's there, you take him. You take him. He's a true Mike linebacker who's fast, athletic, big, not afraid to stick his nose in there. Um, he's the kind of guy that jumps. He jumps off your screen. When you watch the Texas Tech play and you watch their defense play. He's the heart of the defense. He's what makes them go. He's a good kid, and he's good. He's just fast. He's strong, um, and I really like him. I really like him. If the Cowboys are able to get Ruben Bain and linebacker Jacob Rodriguez in this draft, I think it's a win of a draft. I know we don't have a second or a third round, but that's okay because our two first rounders are perfect. Um, Not to mention next year we're only gonna have one first round draft pick and that's the Packers. So we might be having a late first round next year. You know, with having two first rounds, getting everything on defense. If we get any offensive player, Jerry, if we get any offensive player, we're making a mistake. I understand that Matt Eberflus probably had a lot to do with our defense not being very good, but if we get anybody other than defense, we're making a mistake. If we go to free agency and we get anybody but defense, we're making a mistake. Our money needs to be thrown towards defense, defense, defense. Speaking of defense, we got a good defensive battle throughout the playoffs. All of these teams have that in common. That they have a great defense from the Los Angeles Chargers, San Francisco 49ers, New England, Seattle, they're Chicago. Their defenses are outstanding, and I guess that goes to show you how important it is to have a top 10 defense in this game. Um, Starting off on Saturday, it's kind of a no brainer. The Rams versus Carolina. The Rams are the number 5 seed, but they could very easily be the number 1 seed. They're like a game away. So Carolina's gonna be a quick exit. Um, you don't bet the spread on that. You don't bet the you don't bet the over under on the points. You don't bet anything. Yeah, you just if you're gonna bet anything, you collect your minimum and you get the Rams. Rams have the experience. They have the experienced head coach. They have an experienced quarterback. They have a better defense. Carolina made it in, not even through their own destiny. They had a hope that the Saints were going to lose, and so I just you do not take Carolina. Nice story though. Green Bay at Chicago. That's going to be the night game for Saturday. Uh, give me Chicago. Give me Chicago by probably 3.5. I'm taking the over on the points. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. These teams know each other very, very well. It's going to get chippy. There's going to be a lot of flags. There's going to be a lot of personal fouls. Um, if they have Diggs starting, he's going to get burned. Uh, I just I don't see Green Bay winning this at all. Give me Chicago by 3.5. Um, Sunday we're gonna have Buffalo versus Jacksonville. That's gonna be a good game. I'm looking forward to that. Jacksonville's coming off a heater. Um, their quarterback Trevor Lawrence Sunshine is playing at a huge high level that we've never seen him play before. The last time we saw this version of Sunshine was in Clemson. Man, is he good? He just I don't know what it is. It's like a light switch just turned on, and he took off and he kept running with it. And I don't know if it's his receiver stepping up or using his legs more, the play call, but he's here, and I think he's here to stay. I think this is what Jacksonville expects when they drafted him. And Buffalo, they're not looking good. They're rolling like on 50-50. They're a hit or miss. Their defense is terrible. And I think Jacksonville with Sunshine is going to carve him up. He's going to carve him up in the air. They're going to put it on the game. I don't think Buffalo wins this game, and it's scary to say that because you don't bet against Josh Allen because Josh Allen can't put a Superman cape on and go. But I don't want, I don't feel comfortable taking Buffalo. I say give me Jacksonville. Um, I don't know, I don't know what the spread is on that, but give me Jacksonville. Give me Jacksonville, and it's gonna be 24-21 Jacksonville. San Francisco and Philadelphia. That's gonna be a 3:30 game. Philadelphia's like San Francisco's the number 6 seed. They could also very easily be the number 1 seed again. Um, this NFC West team, NFC West is just outstanding this year. Philadelphia, you don't they're hit and miss. I can't stand Philly, but they're cocky. It seems like they don't care. The coach the coach is too emotional, and I think San Francisco is going to get in their heads very quickly. I think it's over by the first quarter. Even if Philly keeps it close, I don't think they're ever in the game. I think San Francisco is going to have the momentum. I could see Philly keeping it close the entire game because what Philly does. They keep it close no matter who they're playing. But if it doesn't feel like Philly has a game, and when you watch a game, you have that feeling like they have control. They have them by their neck. They're still driving. They're pumping, throwing, running. And if I don't feel like Philly has it, they're not gonna get it. San Francisco is too good on both sides of the ball. They're too experienced to lose this game. Philly is hoping that you lose on your own mistakes. That's how they beat. Um, that's how they beat the Rams. I think in Week 4. So give me San Fran. Um, I think it's gonna be a closer game, so I don't take the spread on that. But give me San Fran straight up. You have the Chargers in New England. If New England doesn't beat themselves, they'll win this game. But I think the Chargers are equipped to beat New England. I think you have Justin Herbert, who's been in the playoffs before, who knows what he's doing. You have a rookie, not a rookie quarterback, but you have a rookie quarterback in a sense that he's never been to the playoffs before. Um, and Drake May, the only thing that's going to be helping New England is going to be the head coach. He's been here, done that, but the head coach is not on the field. He's not playing. So I think this is going to be the first upset of the playoffs where the number 7 seed beats the number 2 seed. I think New England not getting that first round bye is going to hurt them. Um, Denver getting the 1 seed is huge because they're going to end up playing. It would have been Denver. If you would have given me Denver versus the Chargers, I think Denver wins that game. I think their defense is better than the Patriots, so and I think that's why I'm going to give them the edge like, over the Chargers. So what I'm doing is I'm swapping. New England gets the number 1 seed, and Denver gets the number 2 seed. So I'm kind of just swapping them right now. So Denver would play the Chargers, and I think Denver would beat the Chargers, and then the Patriots were to get the number 1 bye. They would get the bye, and then they would come in and play Pittsburgh or Houston, in my opinion. And I think the Patriots could have beaten Pittsburgh and Houston to move on to the next round. Um, so yeah, this that number 1 seed really affected the Patriots. The Denver, unless Aaron Rodgers has a magical day, Houston's not beating Denver. Aaron Rodgers, I give him a chance to beat Denver just because of his experience. But I think we might see Denver versus Sunshine, Jacksonville, in the AFC Championship. That would be amazing. If I could get that, that's I think we won in the playoffs. Even without the NFC being amazing, like that's if we get Denver versus Jacksonville to go to the Super Bowl. That's amazing. The Houston and Pittsburgh, it's a toss up. It could go either way. If CJ Stroud decides he wants to show up to the game that he could possibly play a good game, he's going to give you an interception or two every single game. Aaron Rodgers looked good last night, so I cannot count Aaron Rodgers out. Um, and DK Metcalf's coming back. I don't understand DK, man. You if anybody waking up this morning thanking the Lord, it's DK because his legacy, even though he wasn't playing this game, his legacy may have stood on this game. Because if the Steelers lose and the Ravens make that field goal, what I think we're talking about DK this morning of, you're the reason, man. You're the reason. You're the reason why they lost against the Browns because you weren't playing. Steelers beat the Browns. They don't have to worry about it. They don't have to worry about this game. They're in the playoffs. They clinched, and DK wasn't there. But I think the Steelers, they had the momentum going in to play Houston. That DK's coming back. TJ Watt looks good. He was hurting a little bit, but he still played the entire game. Hayward is still Hayward. The Steelers look good. Their defense looks scary. Aaron Rodgers at the quarterback position. I still think it's a toss up between Houston and Pittsburgh. I think if Houston beats Pittsburgh, Houston will lose to Denver. But if Pittsburgh beats Houston and plays Denver, then that's going to be a better matchup, in my opinion. Let's see. Now that all the NFL season is getting exciting in the playoffs, what's not getting exciting is the Spurs. And I'm so hard on the Spurs. I'm so hard on the Spurs because everybody is so not hard on the Spurs. It's like nobody cares about the Spurs or they're the best team in the world. And because of that, the media doesn't cover what their flaws and what they're actually doing. Losing to another team they should have won. I was at the game with the Spurs versus the Trailblazers on Saturday. It's 16-20 Trailblazers. The media's not covering that. They want the Spurs to be the kryptonite to OKC. They want the Spurs to make the playoffs and show Wimby. But the Spurs are losing another one. They're not winning. They're not winning these games. And the entire game, the Spurs didn't look like they were in it. They look slow. They look sluggish. They look like bored. They weren't prepared. They weren't prepared. They weren't prepared to win this game. They overlooked the Trailblazers. We just beat the New York Knicks. Dude, you just lost to the Trailblazers. Not to mention the Thunder just dropped another one. Just dropped another one. You win the 3 games that you were supposed to win. You're 2 games behind to be the best in the West. But you lose. You lose. Well, we don't have Wimby. That's not an excuse. If you don't have Wimby against the Knicks, I get it. You don't have Wimby against OKC, cool. Against the Lakers, yeah, okay, we can have a conversation. You don't have Wimby against the Trailblazers? You're telling me I can't name 3 guys right now? I could name our entire starting lineup. I can name some of our bench that's better than the Trailblazers starting lineup. And you drop it? It's a coaching issue. It's a freaking coaching issue, man. Mitch Johnson, get your guys ready. Get your guys ready. Tighten everything up. You're right there. You're right there. You're right there. The door's unlocked. The door is cracked. Open it and walk through it. Please. Please. Because this attitude that we're playing with is not going to get us far in the playoffs. It's going to be so disappointing. It's going to be so disappointing. And I'm going to keep watching the Spurs. And I don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of the Spurs. I love the Spurs. From San Antonio. I think they're a great team. I thought they were still a year or two away. They started to prove me wrong, but maybe it's not the roster that's a year or two away. Maybe it's a coach that's a year or two away. I don't know when Wimby's coming back. I don't know. Man, I don't know if Wimby's gonna stay healthy ever either. I think he's better off just coming off the bench. Dude can't stay healthy. Dude can't stay healthy. Well, I'm looking forward to this. The playoffs. I'm looking forward to who's gonna be in the Super Bowl. I'm gonna do a Super Bowl prediction before anything goes. Before anything starts. I'm gonna go ahead and run through the playoffs on both sides. Give me the Rams over Carolina, San Francisco over Philly, Green Bay over Chicago. Um, that means Chicago would play the Rams, Seattle would play San Francisco. Give me San Francisco if everybody's healthy. Give me San Francisco over Seattle to make it to the NFC Championship. Mm. Give me the Bears over LA. And the reason why I say that is because the Bears are going to win against Green Bay, and they're going to be like, we have nothing to lose. Caleb Williams is going to play Superman all game, and that's either going to hurt him or it's going to make him win by 50. Give me the Bears over the Rams. And we got the Bears versus 49ers. Give me the Niners to advance to the Super Bowl. Give me Pittsburgh over Houston. Give me Jacksonville over Buffalo. Give me the Chargers over New England. Give me Denver over the Chargers in the next round. Um, give me Buffalo I mean, sorry, Jacksonville over Pittsburgh. Um, and yeah, I'm taking Denver all the way. I'm taking Denver. Give me Denver and 49ers in the Super Bowl. I want to break it down probably as the week goes on of each individual game. But right now, I have Denver and 49ers in the Super Bowl. It's going to be a great game. Two defensive teams. Everybody's going to hate it because it's going to be a low scoring Super Bowl game, but it's going to be an amazing game. And then I think that if the 49ers play Denver, the 49ers will come on top, winning a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy. But I think that's all we have for now. I wanted to go on live today, but I ran into some couple technical difficulties. But it gives me a chance to kind of review this episode, our first episode of the Lone Star Sports Talk, um, and to kind of see how everything went and the flow of it. Um, I'm excited to see more breaking news today. I think more coaches are going to get fired. Jerry Jones, I woke up this morning. I still haven't seen Eberflus fired. Why? I don't know. I don't. There's going to be defensive coordinators out there that are ready to go, that are want the Dallas Cowboys job, and you haven't fired them, and you haven't started looking yet. Um, I'm watching Get Up, and the future. It says, "What does the future hold for John Harbaugh?" Come on, man. You really think he's gonna get fired? Oh, more breaking news about to come out. Wow, Seattle's a favorite to win a Super Bowl. S- Sam Darnold. Could you imagine if Sam Darnold won a Super Bowl? How stupid the Jets would look. What? Man, Sam Darnold's him though. Hmm. All right, that's it, guys. I appreciate you guys for coming in. Thank you for listening. We'll get another episode up tomorrow. My name is Adam Mantis, the Lone Star Sports Talk.